You don't need a cape or a mask to be a real hero. Sometimes, all it takes is courage and a little bit of luck. Here are the top 10 most incredible real-life heroes caught on camera saving lives. Number 10. Cop stops a knife-wielding man. It's often said that cops are real-life superheroes, putting their bodies on the line in defense of the public. Never has this been more true than in this police station in Bangkok, where a cop risked his life to save that of another. In avoided disaster, the officer, Andrew Mali, is at work when a man comes in wielding a knife. The newcomer is a musician down on his luck. He comes to the police station with the intention of killing himself publicly. The heroic Mali approaches him and, using non-confrontational body language, manages to convince the man to not only hand over the knife, but also gives him a hug to let him know everything's going to be all right. Instead of pressing charges, he sent the man off for evaluation at a hospital. Talk about protect and serve. Number 9. Firefighter catches child. If you're ever unlucky enough to fall out of a building, you'd better hope you have a real-life hero on the ground ready to save you. This terrified parent was fleeing a house fire via a rescue ladder while carrying an infant. Realizing they couldn't climb down and hold on to the infant at the same time, the person decided to drop the child, entrusting the firefighter to save it. Thankfully, this heroine firefighter was in the right place at the right time, and she was able to make a dramatic catch. Captain Jackie Peckrell, the supermom who made the catch, says it was all just part of her job. But that's not the only time these kinds of heroics have been caught on camera. In fact, there are similar videos of people catching falling children, like these two policemen in Egypt, who caught a child who fell from a third-floor apartment, or this lady in a shopping center, and even this group of men, one of whom broke his arm catching the child. Sometimes heroism takes sacrifice. Luckily, all these children survived to tell the tale. Number 8. Heroic grandfather fights off burglars. This first example from Ireland shows that you don't have to be young to be a superhero. A few customers mill around a betting shop when 3 masked men, armed with hammers and a shotgun, rush in. Everyone runs away, except 83-year-old great-grandfather Dennis O'Connor, who shows the attackers who's boss. The old-timer doesn't even flinch when the gun is poked in his face, as he's either completely fearless or must have recognized it as a fake. As the robbers run over the clerk's counter, O'Connor starts delivering a beating Batman. Would be proud of Dennis' actions, clearly inspired the manager, who then starts fighting back. Realizing that they're no match, the robbers flee the scene, chased by the geriatric hero, now wielding a stool. He even confronts the last one and floors him as he tries to run away. Is he the pensioner the city needs? Or the one it deserves? Number 7. Soccer player saves opponent. Soccer, or football if you live outside the US, is a non-contact sport, but sometimes players collide at full speed on accident. And it's about as dangerous as it sounds. It also means when something goes wrong, you need to think quickly and act even quicker. Footballer Francis Cohn is exactly the hero you want at your side. Cohn, seen here in purple, is chasing down the ball during a league game in the Czech Republic. The opposing goalkeeper rushes to collect it, but collides headfirst with his own teammate and collapses. Cohn notices that he's going into shock. He quickly gets to his knees and puts his hand in the man's mouth to prevent him from swallowing his tongue, thus saving his life. And the most astounding fact about this heroism, it's the 4th time he saved someone like this. He told Czech media he did the same twice in Africa, and once in Thailand. Before this, he's a serial lifesaver. Number 6. Man rescues a woman and her dog. The 2016 Louisiana floods were described by the governor of the state as unprecedented. They claimed 13 lives and could have had 2 more if this hero hadn't acted so quickly. This amateur video, shot from a rescue boat in Baton Rouge, is truly nail-biting. Approaching a sinking convertible, the men on the boat realize that there's a woman trapped in the car. After trying to break the window, one man realizes more desperate action is required, so he jumps onto the car and begins to pry the soft top roof off. The car disappears below the water, and for several heart-stopping moments, he searches for her. Finally, he drags her up, but she's not done yet. The only thing on her mind is her dog trapped in the car. With one more breath, this aquatic hero dives down and comes back up with a white fluff ball. The lady later called her rescuer, David Fung, an angel and her savior. But it seems she wasn't the only one he saved. He was working from sunup late into the night, just helping people, and only saw the tape 2 days later. He's a true hero for sure. Number 5. High school student saves fellow student. Being a superhero means helping those who can't defend themselves. Exactly as this student did, the video is as shocking as it is heroic. It's from Huntington Beach High School, where a legally blind boy is getting punched and abused by a disgraceful bully. As the bully goes in for his third hit of the video, a third boy named Cody Pines rushes in to defend his blind friend Austin Higley, knocking the attacker flat on his back and subduing him. Cody and Austin subsequently went on to Dr. Phil to talk about the incident, where Austin said he felt like Cody saved his life. Number 4. Man saves fainting commuter. Those of us who commute know how stressful a busy train station can be. But what about when that stress becomes life-threatening? This man was standing opposite commuters on another platform when he collapsed onto the tracks of the Madrid metro. Horrified passengers watch on as a train approaches, fearing the worst. It almost becomes the perfect example of the bystander effect, which explains that the greater number of bystanders present, the less likely one is to offer help. Luckily, one courageous person breaks free and bravely jumps down onto the tracks, heroically risking his own life. He drags the fallen man away as the train passes over where he just was. A close call. This is one train he'll be happy to have missed. Number 3. Driver stops a reckless joyrider. When you run from the law, you endanger yourself and others around you, which is why this next video could have had a very different outcome, were it not for a heroic bystander. The culprit was a 14-year-old joyrider who had stolen his grandfather's car. The boy drives wildly around a busy park as children and parents run away from the speeding vehicle, which is being pursued by police. Finally, a quick-thinking truck driver named Bryson Rowley puts his car and life on the line and stops the thief dead in his tracks, ramming head-on with his Dodge Ram, ending the madness so the police can catch him. Rowley's truck appeared to only suffer a few scratches, but the owners of West Valley CarStar were so impressed by his selflessness, they worked with other local companies to repair and upgrade the man's truck for free. They knew the man's insurance wouldn't cover the $7,000 worth of damages, so they stepped in and even included upgrades to the tune of around $8,000, putting the total cost of the work at about $15,000. Number 2. Saving a colleague trapped in a helicopter. Superhuman strength is something reserved for Superman, but occasionally a regular human can find it in themselves. This video comes from the set of TV show Magnum Pi, where crew members are watching B-roll of a helicopter being filmed. Then it all goes wrong. The tiny helicopter malfunctions and crashes in a small stream bed, sinking into the mud and trapping the pilot under it, as the warning noises go off, indicating it may explode at any point. One man grabs the nose of the craft. Incredibly, despite it weighing 1,600 pounds, with one burst of exertion he single-handedly lifts the machine, allowing the man to get free. Such impossible feats are often called hysterical strength, which is a phenomenon thought to be caused by a sudden release of noradrenaline, associated with stories like this and others of mothers lifting cars off of trapped children. Now, before I reveal possibly the most amazing real-life superhero caught on camera, let's take a moment to appreciate one more act of courage, even if it didn't end in such a heroic outcome. It's not every day you watch a standoff unfolding, and this scene is a terrifying one. Two policemen stand with their guns drawn as another man holds a woman hostage. Slowly, the officers put down their guns. Just then, a soldier wanders into frame. He sneaks up behind the aggressor and, with an amazing takedown, disarms him and saves the day, or does he? It turns out this event, which took place in Russia, was actually part of a film shoot, and our courageous hero had just ruined a take. Still, if they ever need somebody to play a Russian Jason Bourne, we found the leading candidate. Number 1. The Parisian Spiderman. This final act of heroism feels like something straight out of a comic book. In May of this year, a young child was hanging precariously from the ledge of an apartment building in Paris. As horrified onlookers watched in fear, one man took matters into his own hands. He started climbing the building. That man was Mamadou Bissama, an undocumented immigrant from Mali. Despite the risks of being in the public eye, he didn't hesitate for a second. With every floor he scaled, the crowd gasped, until finally he reached the balcony and pulled the child to safety. And what better reward for a real-life superhero than recognition from the president himself? Gassama was granted French citizenship and now works with the fire department. So, have you ever witnessed a heroic act as incredible as the ones in this video? Which one inspired you the most? Let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching.